Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're looking at something really fundamental. Where does honesty come from? Is it something we learn, a habit we build as kids, or is it just a choice we make on the spot? Well, a fascinating study tried to find out.
So this was a really cool collaboration. You had researchers from the University of Toronto teaming up with experts from Hangzhou Normal University in China. They came together to dig into this question of how honesty gets started in little kids.
Here's the big question they wanted to tackle. When a 5-year-old decides to cheat on a test, is that just a one-time thing, a slip-up? Or is it the start of a habit? That's what they wanted to figure out.
All right, so how do you even test something like this? Well, they came up with this really smart experiment. The whole idea was to put these 5-year-olds in a spot where they could cheat, but without making it feel like a high-stakes situation.
The kids in the study were all 5-year-olds, from middle-class families, and they were all Han Chinese, living in Hangzhou. And there's a good reason for that. By focusing on a group with a similar background, the researchers could be more confident that what they were seeing was about individual choices, not, a bunch of different cultural or social influences.
Okay, so here's how the test worked. Imagine you're 5. You're given this counting test, and you've got 3 minutes to do it all by yourself. But there's an answer key just sitting on a table nearby. The researchers told them, don't peek, and then left the room. A hidden camera, of course, was recording everything. And here's the genius part. The test wasn't just any old test. The first couple problems? Easy. Made the kids feel good, like they were getting it. But the last problem? Well, that one was designed to be way too hard for a 5-year-old to solve in just 3 minutes. So, what do you do when you're stuck? That answer key starts looking really, really tempting.
So, the big moment. The kids are alone, they're stumped by this hard problem, and the answers are right there. What did they do? Well, when the researchers looked at the footage, a clear pattern started to show up, and it was pretty surprising.
Get this. For the kids who decided to cheat on that very first test, 100% of them, every single one, cheated again on the next 2 tests. It wasn't a one-time thing. The pattern was set right from the start.
But what about the honest kids? Well, of the ones who didn't cheat on that first test, a huge majority, 77% of them, stuck with it. They stayed honest for all 3 tests, even when they knew they couldn't solve that last problem.
So you can see these 2 groups forming, right? It's like they hit a fork in the road. One group just kept on the cheating path every single time. The other group, for the most part, stayed on the honesty path, even when it was tough.
And it gets even more interesting. The kids who cheated, they actually got faster at it. The time they spent hesitating before peeking got shorter and shorter with each test. It's like once they made that choice the first time, it just became easier and easier to do it again.
Okay, so you've got these 2 clear patterns. This got the researchers thinking. Is this set in stone? Or could you maybe nudge the kids toward honesty? Because you stopped the cheating pattern once it had already started.
So they tried something. Before the next test, for some of the kids, they did this little integrity intervention. It was really simple. They'd say things to appeal to the child's good side, ask them to make a promise not to cheat, and, importantly, they told them, hey, it's okay if you don't get a perfect score.
So did it work? Did this little pep talk make a difference? The answer to this is really the whole point of the study. It's fascinating.
The results were night and day. For the kids who had been honest from the start, the little talk worked like a charm. It basically helped almost all of them stick to being honest. But for the kids who had already started cheating, that same talk did almost nothing. They just kept cheating.
And that brings us to the big takeaway from the whole experiment. The researchers themselves said it best. It seems like supporting honesty from the very beginning is way more effective than trying to fix cheating after it's already happened.
So this study really leaves us with a powerful question, doesn't it? How do we build environments, at home or in our schools, that encourage honesty right from the get-go? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks so much for joining us for this explainer.